Next question is from 713 Clown. If I were to dedicate a workout to only the essential 5, squat, deads, rows, bench, and overhead press, what order would you do them in?
Oh, for sure squat, right?
Yeah.
Then dead, and then probably
row, bench, and overhead press.
Yeah.
That's how it. You know what's funny? Just those exercises right there, you get a pretty good physique. Just doing that, I mean, it wouldn't be perfect because you're not getting rotation.
It's the minimalist sort of concept, right?
But you'd get a great workout. I would even take it a step further. Here's the deal. At some point, I don't think it's a great idea to always squat and deadlift in the same workout. I think that the risk of injury gets a little high. Definitely if you deadlift before you squat, which I never think is a good idea.
Right.
But even when you deadlift after you squat. So with a routine like that, if you were super minimalist, and let's say you did 5 sets of every exercise. And by the way, I trained a lot of clients like this often. Yeah. They'd come in and this is all we would do. I like to alternate squat and deadlift. So if you're coming in 3 days a week, one workout, we do squats. The next workout, we do deadlifts. The next workout, we do squat, and so on.
That's exactly how I would train for a while. I went through a period of doing 5x5s, and that was, I would alternate my squat and my deadlifts on different days. And so I would pretty much use it accordingly to that, but keep those main lifts and then just keep it really simple. And I had good results as a fact of that as well.
Well, with that logic, you would do the same thing then with overhead press and bench too, because after you bench press, you're not able to lift the same you are on overhead press as you would do if you were completely fresh.
Yeah, but the injury risk isn't there. Squatting and deadlifting the same workout, your low back is very vulnerable.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, if you bench press and then you decide you're going to go super heavy on overhead press, I would argue the risk for low back injury is just as high. Really all it is that if you squat and dead in the same routine, and you should do it in that order for sure, you're gonna be a lot weaker because you just squatted going to the dead. So you have to modify the weight. You have to do a weight that is significantly lower than what you could do as your max lift or 80-90% of your lift. So that's and the same thing goes true when you go row bench press. After you do bench press, you're not going to do your max overhead press because you're definitely going to be fatigued from bench press.
Yeah, but and I'm saying eventually, right? If you're a beginner intermediate, you're probably okay. But if you look at powerlifting routines or strength athlete routines, they rarely deadlift and squat in the same workout. Typically, it's either a squat.
Yeah, because they're also chasing max lift. That's why.
It's just
they're chasing after a max lift. If you're a person that's just training, this routine to me is completely fine 3 days a week. And as long as you modify the intensity of the weight, there's nothing. This is a great routine to run 2-3 times a week, every week.
Well, this looks like pre-phase and MAPS anabolic. MAPS anabolic pre-phase looks like this with maybe a couple of variations because you are working the entire body. You're kind of getting everything in there, and it's working every single muscle group, and it's very, very effective at sending some good strength and muscle building signals. I mean, you definitely can do it. I would just say at some point when you get more advanced, you might be better off alternating those two, in my personal opinion. But if you do them all, you will squat first. So we'll go squat, deadlift, row, bench, overhead press in that. Actually, it in that order.
Yeah, the order is perfect. You just got to know that when you go to overhead press and you go to deads, you're going to be fatigued from the previous exercise.
Right.
So you're going to have to just do less load. And I don't know, dude. I at least for me personally, this is just me, right? I can squat and get after it and then go into deads like a lighter load and be very controlled, safe, and not feel like I'm jeopardizing my form. If I go heavy bench and then I go to do overhead press, I'm more likely to hurt myself in my low back doing that. And now this has to do with I have
bench to overhead?
Yeah. Because I have an anterior pelvic tilt, so I already have an issue with making sure that
get the Instagram butt.
Yeah, I got the Instagram butt going on. So, but I mean that's common. I mean, the anterior pelvic tilt is very common in most people. Now I have a little bit of an excessive one, so I have to constantly be reminding myself to stay engaged, keeping the core tight when I'm pressing good weight over my head. So
yeah, I'll go dead to overhead press because of just the strain of the lower back. I'll feel that when I'm then pressing a load overhead, so I don't usually stack those back to back ever.
Yeah,
but that's just me and my own preference.
Right.
But common wise, right? If you were to look at you just randomly picked 1,000 people's workouts. you often will see a bench press and some kind of an overhead press in a workout because typically people will pair, chest and shoulders.
Yeah, I do that.
Rarely do you see squats and deadlifts in the same workout.
Yeah, that's
you really
fair.
do. You just don't see it very often, and I think it's because people
they're very demanding. Those are like the most demanding exercises.
Yeah, but again, if you're beginner, intermediate, and you're smart, you could definitely do them all in the same workout. I just don't when you're getting strong, you're starting to really push yourself. I think you get better results alternating those two.
Well, that's the key. As you get more experienced and strong, and then you are going to have a tendency to want to push the weight more. This is where it gets risky, is to have them back to back like that because they are so demanding. If you just went and did 4 or 5 sets of heavy squats, and then you're going to go do deadlifts with that, then absolutely you're at risk.
It's funny though. You do 5 sets of each of those, right? So 5 dead squat, dead rows, bench, overhead press. That right there is better than 90% of the workouts that are on the internet.
Oh, yeah.
I'm dead serious.
Oh, absolutely.
That simple, basic thing that we just said
That's
right
the
now.
meat of it all.
Like if you want to get fit, you don't want to buy a program, you're like, whatever, I just want to do something basic that's going to work really well, and you want to do something that's better than 90% of the garbage that's out there, just do that.